All right, cool. Hey guys, this is Amina. This is Daryl, and welcome to our vlog. So today we are going to do a video about what future college athletes should know before they actually go to college, what people don't tell you when you sign your national letter of intent and everything else. So this is going to be a full 9-question little thing that we're going to do for you guys. At the end of the video, make sure that you like and subscribe the video and share. All right, press the button, Daryl. All right, the first question that we have is how important is AAU and or camps?
You had the point.
Yes, I had to point. Come on.
Are you getting paid to direct and shit?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, anyway, hey, so this is a little story about ourselves. I actually went to high school at Martin Luther King High School in Lithonia, Georgia. I played offensive tackle from 2007 to 2009, right? I got a scholarship to Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. I played there for about 3.5 years. I had to sit out 1 year because I got a really bad neck injury. But I transferred to beautiful JCSU, played the rest of my, collegiate experience there. I actually graduated from a degree there as well. So as far as football is concerned, camps are, I can't stress the importance on camps enough. Like, camps are just strictly exposure, right? Because, you can take a no-name player that just people know on the team, like, he's pretty nice or whatever. That same player can get so much exposure just by going to camps and demonstrating to the coaches and the coaching staff on what he can do versus various other players. Because 9 times out of 10, you got people that's ranked and on rivals and all that good stuff. Look, don't pay attention to the rival ratings. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your abilities and honing your craft. That's what you do. Pay attention to that stuff, and I guarantee you're going to go wherever you want to go within your sport of choice. Now, I say that to say this again. When you go to camps, you got to show out. Because just as easily as you can get good exposure, you can get bad exposure if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing either. If you're sitting up there getting torched on by every receiver that comes to the camp, or you offensive lineman and you getting peeled back by every end that you go up against, you're doing damage. So you got to come correct, but you got to grind and make sure that you're working towards what you want.
All right, cool. So my perspective on it is maybe a little different because I played a totally different sport. So a little background on me is that I played basketball for I don't know how many years. I went to school in Homewood Flossmoor, Illinois. It's right outside of Chicago, called Homewood Flossmoor. And from there, I went and signed my national letter of intent to Stetson University in Florida. And then I played there for about 1.5 years and decided to transfer to another school. So I transferred to Johnson C. Smith in 2013. I started at Stetson in 2012. And then I graduated from Johnson C. Smith in 2016. So my perspective on AAU is that I was playing AAU since I was in the 6th grade. My dad immersed me in sports and primarily in basketball. So I was on X, Y, and Z team in Chicago, and Chicago AAU is very, very, very competitive. Like, there was maybe 8 teams from the same city all playing in the same tournament, and you got to play them every weekend, and it was back to back to back. But until I got to like a freshman in high school, it really was just playing games, and it wasn't that serious to me until I actually got in high school and college coaches started to send me letters saying they were interested in me and sending me all types of stuff. And then I got actually kind of serious about it and wanted to show out in front of these college coaches. And the main thing they want to see when they're spectating you, whether you're going to a football camp or whatever, they want to know that you're coachable. Because if you're not coachable, they're not going to spend their $26,000 tuition, or in my case, $50,000 tuition on you if they can't tell you if you're not coachable, you know? So, like, you storming off the court, you getting into a fight with somebody, or you not, something as small as you not listening to what your coach is trying to tell you as far as what play to play or what to do and trying to help you in your game, then they're not going to waste their time on you. Simple as that. Like, why would I spend my money or my allotted amount of scholarships that I have on somebody that I don't even know can listen to me when the time gets critical, you know? So AAU was super important because that way it got your exposure out there, and you need to be on the team that's going to every single city at all the big Nike, Reebok, even Fila tournaments, because those big time tournaments are where the big time coaches are. You're not going to get to a Stetson or a Tennessee State or anything like that if you don't get that proper eyes on you. All right, how many visits should I go on?
As many as you can. I mean, because look, all right, of course in high school, I already know that the seniors, when they take their visits, they go back and tell the juniors and the sophomores and all that other shit. They tell them, oh man, it was cool, bro. They took me to a party and we did this, man. I was up there meeting hoes and everything. And then the thing about college visits that people mainly think about is, remember the scene in He Got Game? Was He Got Game?
Yeah.
Ray Allen when he was Jesus. Yeah. It was in He Got Game where he went on his visit and he smashed 2 white girls, right? And then when he actually got to camp, it was on his story. So, like, on your visit, don't go on the visit anticipating just that.
Right.
Because that's not what you need to be looking for on your visit.
No.
You need to be looking for, and I know some people have already thought about their careers outside of whatever sport that they're playing. When you go on your visit, you ain't thinking about partying until like maybe 8 o'clock that night when you get there, right? During the day, you need to actually listen on the campus tours. Listen to what the college has to offer. Ask questions about whatever field that you may be interested in. I don't know if you're interested in computers or if you're interested in, law, if you're interested more so in the medical field, or even just like sociology, psychology, if you want to be a professor, doesn't matter. Ask questions about the programs, because you would really hate to go to a school that gives you a scholarship and everything, and then you find out, oh man, these professors suck. Oh, this program is garbage. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get a degree and I ain't gonna do nothing with it. So, I mean, of course, that's gonna tempt you. Enjoy your partying. Trust me, you're gonna party. They're gonna show you what life is like at the campus and all that good stuff and all that. But don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Make sure that you keep your mind on the questions for your school. Because think about it, you're gonna be going to class there for the next 4 years.
Right, that's a long time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to get into a computer science program to where none of this professors speak English, and then you're gonna be like, well, damn,
right.
bro, like, bro, you can be on YouTube 24/7.
Right.
Nah, you don't need to do that. If that's what the college that you're going to has to offer academically, you might need to rethink your decisions, regardless of what the football program is. Now, if you going to school just to ball, I mean just to play ball, that's your decision. I don't advise for it, but it's your decision. However, the NFL doesn't just stand for the National Football League. Everybody that's been in the league will tell you it's not for long. So, what I'm saying is you want to make sure that you prepare yourself for life outside of football or whatever sport that you do. You want to prepare yourself for life outside of that, because it's a nasty world out here. When they want their money, they want their money. So you got to make sure that you putting yourself in the position to where you can have a great and awesome quality of life when you stop playing your sport. That's if you don't go to the professional rank. If you go professional, hey man, make the best of it. Thank God every single step of the way, because it's not promised to you. It's not promised to you. Example for me, like when I had to sit out for a season, it was one play that took me out for a year. of football. One play, dude separated my nerve places in my neck. Basically, it was like a stinger that went horribly wrong, right? Like, dude, my arm was numb for like 5 minutes. Couldn't feel nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, my coach at Marshall, I was 19. I went into college at 17 years old. So I was 19 at the time. Coach Doc Holliday sat here and told me, hey, son, I got to take your pads. You're not going to play another down of football for me again. I can't put you on that field and have you paralyzing yourself. That was 19. I'm sitting here thinking like, dog, I thought I'd be playing football till I was at least, 30. Nah, it's not promised. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you, on these visits, you're paying attention so you can go to schools and set you up for success.
All right. So as far as the basketball side of it is, I would say the same thing. Go on as many visits as you can, because one college is not every college.
It's not.
It's really not.
Every college does not do stuff the same. It doesn't.
They don't look the same. People on campus ain't the same. When I tell you that people at Stetson were on the polar opposite from people at Johnson C. Smith. Like, the total culture was different, everything. So you really have to figure out what you want to do after college. What will be your plan B, to be honest, because I don't know what statistic it is, but almost everybody that goes into college doesn't finish with what they started off studying. I started off studying health sciences because I wanted to be a physical therapist, and then I saw one football player foot, and I was like, nah. So I started, not your foot, but
not my foot. Not my foot. Not my foot. You see where it is? Not my foot.
Not
my
your
foot.
feet, but I'm just saying.
I am definitely not stopping the video. Continue.
All right, so I seen one football player's pair of feet that were horrible. I couldn't even do it. So I was like, yeah, let me change my whole little perspective and let me do sport management, because one, all the athletes were doing that, and it was easy. So I chose to do that. But at the same time, on my visits, it was kind of like, it's kind of like a weird thing too, because you're there with your parents. So you really can't ask the questions and try to figure out the things that you want to know for real in your mind without setting off your parents like, yeah, I'm going to act a fool in college, So like, certain questions I would have asked if I was going on my visits again is, do you guys have to wake up really, really early to go to class? Or like, what's your class schedule like? Or how is the class schedule mixed with workouts like? Or when do you have time to do X, Y, and Z? How is the coach? Number one question. How is the coach? How do you like your other teammates? Other things like that, because one, if your teammates don't like the coach, you ain't gonna like the coach. You need to know the real down and dirty about the coach, because if it's somebody that you don't think that you can play for, that's somebody that you don't need to sign your national letter of intent for. And two, you need to figure out the dynamic that the team has, because sometimes you might find that one weak link in the team that will tell you everything that's been going on and all this type of stuff. I wouldn't promote gossip or anything, but I really would want to know how my teammates were before I actually went to the school. So like, make sure you asking the right questions that are right for you as far as college is concerned, and make sure that you're going on a lot of visits to a lot of different type of colleges and different places with different cultures and dynamics and everything, because you don't know what's right for you until you've seen enough to make an observation. Anything else? All right, next question is, when is a good time to sign my national letter of intent? So back in 2012, when I signed my national letter of intent, and I actually, I think the real question is, when should I commit to a college? because I think I made the mistake and I committed too early to a college, but then there's a fine line between committing too late, because I know college athletes have like a time frame that they need to have their new roster set by their head coach. And I know they need to have a lot of people sign in for those nice pictures that you see everybody take of National Signing Day. I know it's a different day for basketball than it is for football. So for basketball, I signed my national letter of intent on November 17th, 2011 to Stetson University. But I had already committed to them probably way early in that year. So I know a lot of people who waited way later to commit to their college, which could have been good, but could have been bad. But a lot of those people that I know that committed very, very late did not end up staying at that college, or didn't like that college, or kind of used it as kind of like their last option, or option C, you know. And nobody wants to really go to an option C college. So really figure out what you want to do. Make sure you do like a pros and cons list of every university that you went and visited and got an offer from, and make sure that when you do commit, that there are no other people that you want to go, there's no other college that you want to go to. Because if you still have thoughts in your mind, I know somebody just like skirted off, but if you still have thoughts in your mind about another college, then it's really not going to work out for you, because it's going to be like, yeah, you're in a committed relationship with that college, but you eye in another college, and it's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? So really figure out who you want to commit to for the next 4 years of your life, and make that decision. It can be early, it can be late, but just figure out what's right for you.
My whole thing is, if you're going to commit to a college, and I'm speaking for football players, all y'all that play football, hear me out. If you're going to commit to a college, make sure it's a college that you know you're going to be well suited at. Like, you know that you're going to be fine if you go to this college. You know that if you go there, it ain't going to be no just extra stuff with the college. You know what I'm saying? Because, good example, let's say, I don't know, top tackle, state, whatever, or whatever, top tackle on your team and all that stuff. You got hella D1 offers and all that other good stuff. And you go to, I don't know, who's Division One? Let's say somebody gets you off like Tulane or something like that, right? And then you like, oh man, this is awesome. This is awesome, bro. Yeah, man, it's real nice down here in New Orleans, all that junk, man. I think I want to come here, right? They give you a scholarship on site, and you verbally commit. Mm-hmm. And then you get back, find out 2 days later, man, dang, bro, what's going on? Man, I had Coach Smart asking about you, and I got Coach Smart's coaching staff, coming here asking about you, but I told them that you are already committed to Tulane. So now you done missed out on the offer for the University of Georgia for going to Tulane. Nothing saying there's nothing wrong with Tulane, because if you like that school and that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But my thing is, just make sure that you have all of the knowledge for your schools before you make a decision. Because you would really hate to say, oh man, I wish I would have went here. I wish I would have went here. I'll give you an example. I went to Marshall University, right? And I signed my national letter of intent because I thought it was the only college that actually gave me a scholarship. Wrong. I had a scholarship from, crazy thing, Georgia State. I had a scholarship from the University of South Alabama. And I think I had talked with some people from Tech, I believe. But they wanted me on like a walk-on, like a preferred walk-on or something like that. Preferred walk-ons don't get no scholarship money. They got to pay full tuition for however many years until they get a scholarship. Now, it's not really that bad for an in-state school, but Georgia Tech expensive. Is I don't know what. I don't know about y'all. I ain't had that money to pay tuition for Georgia Tech. So it's whatever. But just seeing, I'm like, dang, man, I could have played ball way closer to home. But it is what it is. I'm still glad that everything happened the way that it did because I met some amazing people in Huntington. And those are relationships that I hope will continue to last the rest of my life. But all in all, still just make sure that you take everything into full effect before you make a commitment.
All right. So how do you find a balance between school, ball, and life?
So, I mean, your freshman year, because we talking about freshman year, right?
Yes, we are.
So we talking about freshman year. And of course, every semester after that, because once you develop your habits.
But most importantly, freshman year.
Right, but still, once you develop your habits freshman year, they kind of just carry on as long as you can, repeating the things you're doing. Balancing school, ball, and life, it's making time for yourself, It's setting time for just you and yourself. Because typically, my schedule when I was at Marshall, I woke up hella early for 6 a.m. practice.
Oh,
well, not practice, 6 a.m. workouts. Get out of the workout by 7:30, 7:45-ish. Get showered, eat, go to school or the class or whatever. Get out of there from around 12. That was my last class. You got meetings and then practice from like 3 to 7:30, tutoring right after. You go to sleep, repeat the process, right? It's a reason why coaches take your schedule and do it that way. Because they want to allow you to have as much time for school and for your sport as you will. But just make it known. Again, this is just me being real with you, right? You're a student first and an athlete second. When my coach did that to me, it made me realize something. That yes, you are a student athlete, but you're, like I said, again, student first, athlete second. See what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about it is that with your schedule being the way it is, you can still be on top of your school stuff. I mean, you can still, pull off the 4.0 GPA or the 3.8, 3.9 GPA. You can still pull that off as long as you're attentive to your assignments. Now, am I saying you ain't going to have a social life? No, that's not what I'm saying, because you got time in between classes to kick it with your people. And if you're an athlete, 9 times out of 10, you ain't going to be doing nothing but kicking it with the other athletes that you spend time with anyway. So, you're going to get time to know your roommates and all that stuff. There's going to be time for social time. But the balance is, defining what is social time, what's time for school, and what's time for my sport. Time for my sport is already going to take precedence because you got a literal time that you have to be there, right? Time for school or your books, your education, is going to be doing the things that you know that you have to do before that time frame. Because you got deadlines on everything. Your homework assignments, you got deadlines on your papers, your midterms, your projects, all that good stuff. Just like high school. You got times with it, right? You got deadlines for it. It's making sure that you're not procrastinating as far as school is concerned. Make sure that you're just doing the stuff that you're doing so you're not procrastinating at the end. And time for your life, like you being social, you're gonna have time for it. You're gonna have time for it. Because there's going to be time as football players, you're going to have time in the off season to, socialize, do whatever you want to, at least with, people outside the football program or whatever. You're going to have time to do that. Trust me. But at the same time, you still need to be focused on your school stuff and make sure that you're not allowing yourself more social time than you are with your education. That's when you see people dropping out because they ain't got the grades. That's when you see people flunking classes left and right and find out that they put themselves 2 years behind graduation. When you socialize too much and you don't allow enough time for your education. So if you can distinctively pick the time that you spend on those two items, your sport's going to take care of itself because your coach is going to make sure that's taken care of. Everything else is going to fall into place.
I would suggest either a planner or get really good at your calendar on your phone. Because I know you're going to be on your phone all day, every day. But be good at organizing your time, because that was the number one thing that was wrong with me. Because when I was at Stetson, I thought I had time to go to workout, spend time with my friends, eat, and have time to do my homework. But ultimately, the only thing that was getting cut out of that schedule was me eating. I didn't have time to eat. So I would say get really good at organizing your schedule to do things that are important. And once everything that is important is over with, go chill out with your friends at the quad or at the student center, or some people call it a quad. Or go to the mall with your girlfriends or with your guy friends, or do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're new to the city that you're going to school at, go explore the city. It's more to college than just whatever's at your campus, you know what I'm saying? So definitely make time for, you can even color code it. School stuff, or really school and your sports stuff are top over everything. And then make sure you have gaps in your schedule to actually, like, sometimes take a nap or even eat. If you gotta, I should have put some schedules in my phone when I was back in 2012 to eat, because I was not eating, and I was the type of person that I wouldn't tell nobody. So I'm just getting skinnier and skinnier by the day. And my coach is asking me why I'm gassed out while I'm doing my workouts and this, that, and the third. I ain't got no electrolytes or nothing to do what I need to do.
This motherfucker said electrolytes.
Electrolytes. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you really understand your time and your schedule, because that's going to be one of the top things that you need to have under control in order to have your your school life and ball balanced. Because ain't nobody gonna have that perfect, but the closer you get to that is the less stressed out you gonna be.